Good evening and welcome. Let's take a look at our top story this hour. The number of people claiming unemployment benefits in the United Kingdom has soared in the month of April, the first full month of coronavirus lockdown. Before the lockdown began, unemployment had hit a record high, and now the number has increased to 2.1 million people, driving up the overall UK claimant count by 69% in a single month. The overall number of people claiming for benefits due to unemployment has risen above 2 million for the first time since 1996. Unemployment is, however, expected to steadily climb in the coming months as Britain grapples with the deepest recession in more than 3 centuries. While the Treasury has also been warned, but the gradual winding down of its emergency support from August could trigger a fresh wave of job losses. According to the government statisticians, the annual wage growth slowed to 1.5% in March, which is the lowest rate in almost 6 years. Economists have warned against a probable decline in average earnings within months, following one of the weakest recoveries in history from the 2008 financial crisis. Average wage packets after inflation only returned to 2007 levels at the end of 2019. Now, this marks 12 years without progress for workers in the United Kingdom. Now, we are being joined by our bureau chief from London, Mandy Clark. Good evening to you, Mandy. Thank you for being with us. Unemployment in the UK at an all-time high.
Yes, 69%. It's an incredibly high figure. And what's really important to note is this is just the early phases of the coronavirus. It was only in late March that the government start to lock down, where we saw businesses forced to close, and that's where the unemployment started. The figures that were released were kind of late March, early April. It doesn't really speak to the last few months as this lockdown had deepened. So these figures are just the initial figures. The other big worry is what you flagged in August, the furlough scheme, where thousands upon hundreds of thousands of employees are currently being essentially paid by the government. So to encourage companies to hold on to their employees as long as possible. But once that scheme goes, we're expecting hundreds of thousands, possibly millions more people heading towards the unemployment line. So Britain is facing one of the deepest unemployments and likely to continue in the months ahead.
Right, and Mandy, economists have said that this dramatic increase in unemployment would have in fact been much higher without the government's emergency wage subsidy scheme, is accounting for maybe more than 8 million jobs, saying that they have been protected.
Yes, it has been protected, and certainly we didn't see that cliff edge. But the question is, what will happen when this furlough scheme ends? Because it is costing the taxpayer billions. It is not something that the government can do indefinitely. There is an end date by August. So have we just pushed that cliff edge just further down the line, or has it successfully helped companies survive the period of coronavirus and able to retain the staff? And that will be the big question, what people will see, what will happen in August, if those people will come back on the payroll or will they be let go?
Mandy, thanks for that report. That's our WION correspondent, Mandy Clark, coming to us live from London for the latest on the economy